Hi, everybody. We're going to talk for a few minutes about active listening. So often, people ask, what do I do for this child and this behavior? What about this challenging behavior? And active listening is something that while you may not think that it's addressing behavior, it is. So we're going to talk about what active listening is, and I encourage you to start using it. You can use it with children at home. You can use it with children at the child care center, at work. You can use it with your sister, your mom, your dad, your husband, your wife, whoever. Okay? So, active listening is when we acknowledge feelings. So oftentimes we say to children, it's okay, you're okay, don't cry. When in reality, they are not okay because they're upset or they're crying. So rather than discounting those feelings or trying to distract the child from those feelings or person, whoever you're using this with, what we want to do is acknowledge those feelings, because feelings are real. It's just what we do with them that makes them either more appropriate or less appropriate. But just the simple act of acknowledging feelings often makes the person's behavior change. So if we want to do this non-verbally, we can certainly observe children to identify their needs, and it could be something as simple as, a more reserved child standing back and watching other children play with blocks, and maybe you're listening to that situation close enough to know that maybe they need a little bit of help entering the play of the blocks with the children. So sometimes we might have to give children the words to use based on what we're seeing. So it's not necessarily all going to happen with words. Sometimes it could just be a child's nose is running and you hand them a Kleenex. That's nonverbal active listening. But what we're doing is we're giving names to feelings. So the feelings are real, and we all want to feel in control of our bodies. It's a hard thing when we feel out of control, but if we don't know how to verbalize or name our feelings, then it may make us feel a bit more out of control. So we have this need to control our bodies, and what we're going to do is help children give names to feelings, and that's going to bring us closer together and give children the appropriate attention. So there's lots of different feelings, right? Lots of different emotions that we have. It's more than just happy and sad or mad and angry. We could be tired, we could be embarrassed, we could feel loved, we could feel excited. And that's one of the things we want to remember, is that this is a way to help children build their emotional vocabulary, emotional literacy. So why do you think it's important to give names to feelings? Think about that for a second in your head, and what we want to do is enable children to express their needs. So rather than hitting or throwing something, if we help them identify how to get their needs met in an appropriate way, then that's going to be helpful for everybody. This helps children become independent and self-sufficient, right? We don't want them to rely on us for the rest of their lives. It helps children also understand that other people may share those same feelings, and like I said, it gives them vocabulary to express their feelings. So this is going to take a lot of practice. It's not something that people just innately do for one reason or another. We don't. So it takes a lot of practice. So we're going to reflect the feelings. So the other day, last week, when I was in one of the classrooms, a little girl began to have somewhat of a temper tantrum, and rather than telling her what to do or how to feel, my immediate comment to her was, "You really wanted that Paw Patrol puzzle." She did. She really wanted it. So instead of me saying, well, you can't have it, it's not your turn, you're going to have to wait for your turn. I simply acknowledged that she really wanted that. And it's like if you're looking forward to a big birthday dinner and your best friend cancels on you and then everybody else says, oh, don't worry about her, don't worry about her. That may not really make you feel better in the moment because you were really hurt that she canceled on you after knowing that this was a big deal for you. So just simply acknowledging that feeling is what we're going to try to do. And guess what? You might be wrong on the first guess. One time I was in a Head Start classroom and a little boy was having some difficulties, and I got down on his level and I said, you are really angry. And he said, no. I said, okay. And I thought a minute about, what I had seen take place, and I said, you're really going to miss your grandma today. And then he said, yes. So this was at drop-off time, and after that, his demeanor changed drastically. So all I had to do was acknowledge that he was going to miss his grandma today. But I was wrong at my first guess. So then I kept going until I found it. Okay, so with infants, you're going to learn to listen to their cries. That's the way they express their feelings. And oftentimes it is going to be a guessing game. So, you can talk through it with them. You may say, well, I'm going to change your diaper now because you're crying. I wonder if that's what's wrong, or I wonder if you're hungry. Just talking through what those facial expressions or cries may mean. With toddlers, it could become a bit frustrating because they may or may not be able to affirm or deny that that's the feeling that they have. But we just want to keep trying and ensure that your voice is warm, accepting, and non-judgmental. What makes you upset may be different than what makes me upset. What gets you really excited is probably different than what gets me really excited. So being non-judgmental about whatever those feelings are and helping us remain sincere is important because the toddlers are going to understand when we're sincere and when we're not. And then with preschoolers, it's important to understand that, they are looking for this power. So if it's nap time and they say, I never have to take a nap at home, rather than saying, well, you have to take one here, it's in the rules, we may think about the underlying feeling, and it could be that they're frustrated. Well, it frustrates you that you have to take a nap when you're here. Or you may think of another feeling, maybe they're not tired. Well, maybe you have a lot of energy right now and you're just not ready for a nap. You can't come to my birthday party or those type things. If we just use some active listening, we're going to avoid this power struggle. So in that situation, we may again think of the feeling, and the feeling could be that they are irritated with a peer. They could be jealous. They could be really excited about their party and just not know how to handle that excitement. So if a child is exhibiting some sort of, and it could be good things too, but so for example, they show you a piece of artwork and look what I made. You could think to yourself what they're feeling. Well, they might be really proud of that. And that's what you might say is, you seem really proud of that painting. That way you're not judging it. Perhaps a child is in the block center and you see all these blocks that are on the floor and they're, arms crossed and their eyes are squinted and you can tell they're angry. You may go over, say you didn't see what happened, and you could say, you look really angry that all these blocks are on the floor. And then they may tell you what happened. They may not. But simply acknowledging these feelings is going to give them a sense of ownership, validation, affirmation, and then it's going to open up the conversation so that you can start to solve the problem. But until the feeling is acknowledged, you're probably not going to do a lot of problem solving. All right, give it a try.